people have now ordered. Still to come, something that might help you on your weight loss goals. Energy and fat metabolism, one of our specials. Healthy hair, skin and nails, one of our specials. But our second today's special is here. It's time to get that youthful feeling again, youthful elasticity. It's time to help our joints. Maybe it's about feeling better in 2022 with stronger, healthier joints. This is one of my Desert Island products. I've been taking this for over 3 years now, 4 years actually, for my knees. I cannot say enough good things about it. Today's special pricing is active right now, and for the first time, a bulk size powder form that we'll get into that you can use with smoothies or shakes or yogurts or oatmeal. Andrew, again, you talk about a product that's highly reviewed. That's exactly what this is. People of so many different age ranges saying it has a profound impact on their daily life.
Well, our joints have a profound impact on our daily life. And without exception, it's sort of my body, years of sports. You know, I was a competitive athlete for most of my life. I still compete against myself even today. So basically, on a daily basis, I take a daily inventory on what's going on with all my joints. And I do my very best to keep them quiet. That's why I don't just do my sports, I also do things like yoga. Because we need to be kind to our joints, we need to be kind to our body. Aging is a process that's really kind, that's not kind to any system in our body. As I always have liked to say, that the most pernicious, the most challenging disease isn't considered a disease, and it's aging. And our joints are certainly a victim of that process. If you looked at things like the hinges on a door, and someone told you they designed a door that was going to function well for the next 80, 90, 100 years, you'd say, oh my God, that's an incredibly well-designed door. That's essentially what's going on with our body. And we're not just opening that and closing that door occasionally. We're using these joints constantly. We're talking about we should take 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps a day. Think of all of that's involved in terms of our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips, that we expect so much from these structures in our body, yet we return so little. And glucosamine and chondroitin are the most foundational structural components when we consider the functioning of our joints. And remember, structure and function, they're inseparable. That function follows structure, and structure determines function. So glucosamine and chondroitin, if they are delivered correctly, they are these critical ingredients. And again, if we look at just some of the science here, and that's just a capsule. As you can see, it's an ultra fine powder. And our glucosamine and chondroitin, there's no rock hard tablets. It's going to be gentle on your stomach. Rock hard tablets can be hard to swallow and upset your stomach. But glucosamine and chondroitin, they've been the subject, glucosamine alone, more than 23,500 papers, more than 21,500 papers on chondroitin, 1,500 papers, the two ingredients being used together, 3,700 clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews. So we're talking some seriously considered ingredients. That from the American Medical Association, if we could, stay on the charts. The glucosamine sulfate is from the American Medical Association. Glucosamine sulfate is the first line of defense in supporting the health of the joints, according to the current scientific and regulatory recommendations. Our results suggest that the long-term administration of daily oral glucosamine sulfate, it has to be sulfate, at the minimum dose of 1,500 milligrams supports the health of joint cartilage. From the Journal of American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, the preponderance of scientific and clinical evidence supports the inclusion of glucosamine sulfate in a dose of 1,500 milligrams daily as a component of joint support program. Unfortunately, most products don't follow the science because they don't use glucosamine sulfate. From rheumatology, a recent study suggested that glucosamine had long-term structure-modifying effects, meaning that it's beneficial to the structure of our joints. Clinical therapeutics, according to our findings, glucosamine sulfate appears to rebuild damaged cartilage. It is known that glucosamine sulfate stimulates the rebuilding of experimentally damaged cartilage. And with ours, despite it being the perfect scientifically established form, it's about $0.10 a capsule. Joint cartilage is constantly rebuilding itself as old or damaged cartilage breaks down. It is replaced by new, healthy cartilage. Glucosamine, in the form of glucosamine sulfate, has been shown to support regeneration of cartilage. From the Journal of Family Practice, this is a journal for doctors, a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin should be considered viable first-line joint support nutrients. Be sure to tell your patients to purchase glucosamine sulfate, not glucosamine hydrochloride. Most products are glucosamine hydrochloride. Why they don't work? Our product has always been, since the day I introduced it in 1979, 43 years ago, it has exclusively been glucosamine sulfate, because that's what the science says. And it's to me, it's just sad that the majority of products violate the science, which really violates the interests of the people using the product.
And one of the things that, Andrew, you've always done is to give the information. It's about being on TV and giving information so we can all make an educated decision. This is something that a lot of us struggle with. We have the aches and we have the pains, and we struggle with that flexibility or elasticity that we used to have. My knees have always been an issue for me for a whole number of reasons. I can't stress enough, and there's not enough time, but if I can say right now to anybody watching at home, this product to me has been a godsend. The difference in my daily life, the quality of my life, and the relief I have had on my knees is second to none. And I credit it all down to Andrew's Glucosamine and Chondroitin. It is sensational. And if you have tried others, and maybe you already take a product similar to this, well, maybe you just heard that perhaps it's more the inferior form, which is most commonly sold in America today. If you're going to take something for your joints, take something that's going to give you maximum benefits, and that's what this does. This is a much shorter presentation, over 4,000 sold already. Pricing today is the best of the year. So if you've ever wanted to give it a go, today is the day to see the impact it has on your life. 100, 300, 600, or this fabulous 900 capsules, or for the first time ever, the bulk powder, which we'll talk about, which of course you could combine with shakes or smoothies, yogurts or oatmeal. Sensational savings right here. Andrew, I'm thrilled that you made the option available today.
Well, it's not just great to be put in, it's designed to be placed in a smoothie like a protein shake. You can put it in a smoothie, whatever shake. If you're making Secure, you could put it in Secure. You could also sprinkle it on your dog's food. That's something that Lincoln and Marcel both get. They both get this in addition to other joint ingredients. We're still working on that product. It will be out soon for dogs. I keep promising that. But again, when you're looking at the science on glucosamine and chondroitin, it has to be in the sulfate form. And when we think about these products, they've been around for a while. They're very well established. Probably 10, 15, 20 years is what they've been the most popular. It gives you a sense of how long I've been doing this and how much experience I have with these ingredients to let you know that my first glucosamine chondroitin product was delivered in 1979. So more than 42 years ago, close to 43 years ago. So this is an ingredient that has been well established in the science for quite some time. It took most other companies a long time to finally introduce the ingredients. But then when they did so, most of those companies violated the interests, violated, I think, the health of their customers by delivering it in a form that the science doesn't support, the glucosamine hydrochloride. Moreover, chondroitin sulfate is typically in the sodium form. And the sodium form, we don't want additional sodium because sodium is associated with increasing our blood pressure, hypertension. Our form of chondroitin is calcium chondroitin sulfate, delivers another beneficial ingredient. Much more expensive to do that because it's not the normal commodity form. But again, when I make a product, I want to make sure that the product follows the science, delivers the benefits, and doesn't deliver any other problems. There's some other science here I wanted to find.
All the capsules you see here, that's the larger size. Folks, if you're on hold, we see you. Please be patient with us. We're extremely busy, folks, ordering our today's special, Secure Meal Replacement. Just while Andrew finds that, I'll read 2 quick reviews. This first one is from Kathy in Pennsylvania. She says, I wish I could give it 6 stars. This product is very deserving of 5 stars. At the age of 73, I find it gives me the freedom to walk the city, which I do every day. It also lets me climb stairs. Yes, I said stairs without difficulty. Thanks, Andrew, for telling us why your product is superior to the average product on the market, worth every penny at this cost. One more, life-changing. This is my desert island choice. I would never, ever be without this supplement. It literally saved my knees 5 years ago. Boy, it's like I wrote this. Let me be clear, there is nothing like the supplements you get at the drugstores. This is the sulfate form, which is more expensive, and in my opinion, the only form that actually helps your joints. Thanks, Andrew. That's just 2 reviews of well over 1,000 5-star reviews, Andrew, that say the same thing again and again, the impact, the difference, the difference that this product can bring.
And the review, I'll have the review tomorrow. I'll just speak to the review right now. There was an interesting study. It was published relatively recently, and it talked about looking at large populations that those individuals who were using glucosamine sulfate, that it was associated with heart health. And there's a couple of ways to potentially look at this. The same things that keep our joints flexible and elastic, glucosamine sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, could also exert those effects, keeping our arteries more flexible. Plus, as part of that study, what they also noticed, that something called C-reactive protein, which is oftentimes something our doctors will look at, certainly cardiologists will look at, to get a sense of our heart health. But the glucosamine appeared to exert a positive effect on C-reactive protein. So, as I often love to talk about, when we do our supplements and we follow the science and we do it correctly, and these are natural ingredients, they aren't drugs, that I don't have to warn you about side effects. What I get to do down the road is talk to you about all the other side benefits, all the other benefits that you didn't even contemplate at the time you were getting the product for your joints, but all the other benefits you get to enjoy. But when it comes to glucosamine and chondroitin, unfortunately, the majority of folks buying these products are, dare I say, wasting their money, investing in a form that the science says, don't invest in this form. That the form that we should be getting, the glucosamine sulfate, crystal clear, that the science is there, it's beneficial, but you can't expect to get the benefits from that form if you're getting it in another form. It's like if someone had your same first name but a different last name, it wouldn't be you. Glucosamine sulfate is not the same as glucosamine hydrochloride. They're entirely different ingredients. And why choose glucosamine hydrochloride if you're a manufacturer? It's cheaper. And most manufacturers, dare I say, they don't even know the science doesn't support it. They just think it's glucosamine, it's all the same, but it is not. That's why I was reading the charts from the medical journals that tell doctors, if you're recommending glucosamine to your patients, make sure it's glucosamine sulfate, because the hydrochloride form doesn't have the science, doesn't have the support, will not have the results.
It might be knees, it might be, various parts of your body that you've just thought, okay, I've given up on, that there's aches and pains when you get out of bed on a morning. It doesn't have to be that way, and that's the point of reading those 2 reviews that we did. You absolutely can experience the benefit here from your hips to your knees, neck, elbows. It's right there. With Andrew's best-in-class glucosamine chondroitin, our pricing is sensational today, under $100 if you want to do the 900 bulk powder, obviously just over $100 if you do the 900 capsules. Specialty, great sizing, delivering massive savings if you order it today versus another day. This is a today's special. Andrew's Secure Meal Replacement is a today's special. A lot of you asking about energy and fat metabolism for fat burning and energy support. I promise we're going to get there. We have a couple monthly specials, and 'tis the season as well in January.